Hello. Wow. I said hello and everybody's kept quiet. Thank you. Yeah, good morning. Sorry. Yeah. Now I'll forgive you because the water is not there. So let's start with the business of the day. Good afternoon once more. Welcome to our 20. Before I do the introductions, let me say, ladies, you look so pretty. You are dressed to the nines, eh? And the guys look so debonair. Give yourselves a round of applause. We unfortunately don't have the best china, but if you can see around, we really up our game this year. All right? Yeah. We are wearing beads. Most of us are wearing beads today. Very colorful beads. And that is who we are as Africans, right? Beads hold an important part of our lives. Each of our communities on the continent have their own unique traditions, histories, and way of life. And among these virtual, vast cultural differences, there are some similarities in the ways that each type of beadwork were used to across the continent, and they were used to communicate. We have 27 African countries represented on our scholars program. I think we can clap again. And as future transformational and ethical leaders that we expect you to be, whilst you are at UP, please learn, communicate, collaborate, and lead for the successful transformation and development of the continent. In our midst today, we have Dr. Kadima Tabate, who is the Deputy Director, Academic Development in the Department for Education and Innovation. She is also our boss. We report to her at the University of Pretoria. And there is Ms. Pauline Gangler from the foundations, who unfortunately, due to prior commitments, will not be able to be with us here, but you will hear a recorded message from her. We also in our midst have our guest speaker for today, Ntate Sello Hatang, which I will tell you more about him later in the program. Mr. Hatang, welcome. And virtually we have Ms. Chietsa Pasipa Nodoya from Zimbabwe. However, she works with the World University Services in Canada, and she is the senior project manager for a program called DREAM. We are working closely with her in our effort to provide access for young refugees on our continent, whom we will be bringing onto the program next year, starting next year. We also acknowledge our alumni attending virtually from different parts of the continent and the world. And in our midst here, we have the member of the first cohort of the Scholars Program, Ms. Nonduduzo Ndlovu from Swaziland. Nonduduzo, stand up, let them see you. 2014. She now works with the African Development Bank. So you should also aspire to go work for these big organizations. And how can I not acknowledge the best Mastercard Scholars Program team in our midst? And I'm going to call them out so that I know that the new scholars have seen them, but not all of you have seen them. I will start with Dr. Efe Isike. Wow. She's our postgraduate coordinator. And then Ms. Bonolo Litsufi, who is our undergraduate coordinator, but now Vake. our resident psychologist, Mr. Sifiso Kuboni, our recruitment and liaison officer, Mr. Lennox Wasara, our entrepreneur community engagement officer, Mr. Liakhali Sufi, the finance officer, and Mr. Alex Mukibi, who is our admin officer, and also our alumni. He is busy completing his PhD. So, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the day. And before we get started now, 1 or 2 housekeeping rules. Can you please turn your cell phones off whilst we are running the program? And also the bathrooms are located at the back. I think you go through this door and that door, and they are right on my left. Okay. So with that done, can the 2023 cohort please stand up? 2023 cohort. New, and the transitioning ones. Two of them are, I won't say what Dr. Efe calls them, but they are new. 42 of them. The remainder are the transitioning scholars, transitioning from undergrad to honors or from honors to masters. So you can clap for them and sit down. Now I'm going to call out the countries that are represented on our scholars program. Some of the countries may not have representative, as the scholars from those countries have exited the program. So let's start. Angola, please stand up. Benin. Botswana. Burundi. Cameroon. The scholar has, I don't know, we have a scholar that has graduated, but I thought we have one on the program as well. Okay, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Congo Brazzaville. Ethiopia. Ghana. Kenya, the Mountain Kingdom of Lesotho, Liberia, I graduated, I think, Malawi, Namibia. We have quite a few Namibians who have graduated. Nigeria. Reunion. A country of 1,000 hills, Rwanda. The scholar is not here. Sierra Leone. South Africa. South Sudan. The Kingdom of Eswatini. Tanzania. Uganda. Zambia, Zimbabwe. Did I miss anyone? No. Wow, we almost have all of Africa in one room. I often say that we must get a seat at the African Union table, right? In total, as I said, we have around 27 African countries represented. So let's give ourselves a round of applause for that. Then, without me wasting any time, I'm going to call Dr. Khadima Tabate to come to the fore and address the scholars.
Wow, this is amazing. This is so amazing. And I would like to just say welcome to UP, University of Pretoria, to the 2023 cohort. And I hope those of you who are not new, you have enjoyed your stay at the University of Pretoria. Okay, without further ado, I'll just get to what I want to share with you this morning. Just a bit of a speech, not very boring, just a few words for you this morning. So, the University of Pretoria is one of the continent's leading research-intensive universities, and it has amongst its peers the largest enrollment of about 53,912 students. I think we've gone past that this year. 59% of the students are women, the majority. 30% are postgraduate students. UP has a strong commitment to student and staff inclusivity and diversity. With the University Strategic Implementation Plan 2022 to 2026, making it clear that the plan is founded on, amongst other principles, embracing diversity to enrich the university's intellectual environment and improve graduate outcomes. The goal of the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program at the University of Pretoria is to develop a cohort of transformative, and I repeat, transformative leaders who will support social transformation and economic growth of the African continent. There's evident alignment between the UP Reimagined Future Strategic Goals and the Mastercard Reimagined Strategy, as well as the Scholars Program's Theory of Change. The target group we wish to attract are academically excellent youth from financially constrained backgrounds with potential to be leaders in their communities, in their fields. Scholars who will, upon graduation, gain dignified and fulfilling employment and create employment for others. Prior to developing the proposal for the next 10 years, which we are busy doing, we worked with an external evaluator, and we went through a process. A reflection exercise was taken at the institution with key stakeholders, including the scholars themselves, to inform the development of what we should look like in the next 10 years. The reflection exercise aimed to take stock of the current phase and guide formal discussions for a potential new phase of the Scholars Program. The exercise consisted of a facilitated group of conversations which we had with key stakeholders. So, in the next 10 years, what is both innovative and experimental and emanating from the reflection exercise is the hosting of a more diverse and inclusive cohort of scholars, including scholars living with disability and refugees. We are therefore planning to be intentional in our efforts to strengthen internal collaborations with relevant stakeholders, thus ensuring better student outcomes and institutional change. These are some of the few stakeholders that we work with internally at UP, but not limited to the Disability Unit, the Center for Human Rights, Enterprises UP, the Transformation Office, UP Career Services, and the Center for the Future of Work. So with that said, the future is bright. We're looking for more engaging experiences and exposing you to more and more environments or opportunities that will widen the scope of the work that you do. And my parting words is just to say to you, as I leave this stage now, I would like to urge you to take ownership of this opportunity. Somebody else could have been sitting in that chair you're sitting in right now. I want to see ownership this year. I want to see you attending at least 90% of the events that are hosted. We should not go through all the trouble and then you're not there. These things are done with you in mind. The one thing that you may think you have, but you still have to build on, is the social capital. That's what makes a difference. And it is in such forums where we want to introduce you to people, to expand your circle of influence and the people that can push you forward. We all know that most of the things that we've been able to achieve, there's been people who had to open the door for us. So please make sure that you show up. You might not be here or vocal or everybody knows you're in the room, but the best thing that you can ever do for yourself is show up. You never know what you will get just by showing up, okay? And the other thing that I also wanted just to emphasize with you is that take agency. If you feel you have a need, there's a gap, there's something you need to know, knock on the doors of the team. Let us know how we can help you. What is that thing that you're struggling with? Don't sit with your own struggles. Take advantage of this group of people that you're sitting with in this room. And most of all, pay it forward. This opportunity. I mean, I'm a Christian, and when I read the Bible, the most inspiring story that ever, meant a lot for me growing up as a young person was the story of Esther. Those who are Christians who read the Bible will relate to what I'm saying. Esther was picked up and was put in a place where she could have influence, where she could advocate for her people. And I want to say the words that were said to Esther while she was in that place or that great stage of influence, that you were born for a time such as this. Thank you.
Wow. Let me echo what Dr. Kadi just said. You were born for a time such as this. She also said, the future is bright for you. Attend 90% of the events because they are planned with you in mind. You are the human capital for our continent. Show up, we are there for you. Let's thank Dr. Kadi for such inspiration. Next on our program is our guest speaker, Mr. Sello Hatang, Tate Sello Hatang. Let me give you a bit of his background. Tate Hatang is, as I said, is the Chief Executive Officer of the Nelson Mandela Foundation. He was previously the Head of Information, Communications, and spokesperson for the South African Human Rights Commission. He participated in the post-1994 transformation of the South African National Archives, including providing archival support for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and is a former director of the South African History Archive, SAHA, at Wits University. He serves on the board of SAHA and the Open Democracy Advice Center. He is a founding member of the Constitution. He is a member of the editorial team for the Nelson Mandela's book, Conversations with Myself, and co-editor of the Nelson Mandela by himself, the authorized book of quotations. He is a 2014 Archbishop Tutu Fellow. He successfully submitted Mount Kilimanjaro to help keep the girl children in school. And he is a UP alumnus. Well, help me welcome Tate Hatang to the podium.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Where I come from, they greet back. I don't know about UP, but where in Joburg at least we greet back. So I'll try again. Good afternoon. That sounds better because it has to be a good afternoon, right? You're celebrating 10 years. 10 years is no child's play. It means a lot of effort was put into this for you to be sitting here today. So, I'm really honored to be here. But after all that was said and done, said about me and what I do, I want you to just remember one thing out of everything that was said, is that I'm just a Kaizer Chiefs fan. For those who are South Africans, you kind of know what that means. So if you see any sense of trauma in my face, it's because my team is not doing well. And I'm still hopeful that we will get there. This year is a big year for you, for the program, for you individually, for those who have been an alumni, who started off with the program. It's a big year. And it's also a big year for South Africa, and to some extent for the world. This also marks the 10th anniversary of Madiba's passing. 2013, when this program started, Madiba passed on. It also marks the 105th birthday of his birth. So it's Madiba's 105th birthday, as it were. It's the 25th anniversary of the South African Constitution, a constitution that we're still hoping will become real, a lived reality for many who live in South Africa. It's still to become that. But it's wholly dependent on people like you for that to happen, not just for South Africa, but for the world. After chatting to Dr. Grace, I kind of changed the speech, and don't tell the office that I did. It's just a secret between us. Because I thought the speech that I was going to give was just a speech about trying to just encourage you to be leaders of the future, but more very focused on South Africa. So I've changed what I wanted to say. And I want to kick off by saying that for me, key to everything that we have to be talking about today is how do we flip the script? And that's the basis of my speech. How do we flip the script? It's our responsibility to flip the script. The script of our countries, the script of the continent, the script of our families, the script of the communities where we come from, but most importantly, the script of our own individual lives. In most instances, society had already put so many barriers for us to be able to be sitting where we are sitting now. And you've already changed that trajectory by sitting in front, by being in front of me now. So flipping the script is important if we are to do anything and do it right. And part of it is showing up. And I'm going to be giving you two anecdotes to make the point. But flipping the script is about reversing the usual or existing positions in a situation to do something unexpected or revolutionary, to change or to reverse something dramatically, to change one story. Like I said, each one of us has a story written for them. Sometimes it's written by society because of the families where we are born. Families that do not have funding to take us to university, for example, and Mastercard comes through and says, we will help you rewrite your story. But they just do part of that. Do you agree with me? They just give you funding. They make sure that Dr. Matabat is there to make sure that you at least have someone who's holding your hand. The people who are on the program at the back, that they are holding your hand. But actually they do a minuscule part of that story. The greater part is on you to rewrite that story. So you hold you hold that blank page that you must then write. You have to write your story on it and change how the stars that have aligned differently or might have aligned differently, that they realign to what it needs to be. Just to say that I was once like you. I come from a family of 6 children, a single parent. My mother carried all of us. She was an illiterate domestic worker. Couldn't read or write, couldn't sign even her name. The longest I've gone without food was 2 days, where you kind of hear about food, but you actually don't have food. And there's a story I want to share with you of the day I went to call my mother, asking for some money for her to deposit into my account so that I could buy books and other stuff. So those who know this, we used to have the telecom boxes, those the call boxes. Then it changed to the Vodacom, then and Cell C to some extent. They changed them to the container phones, which were bloody expensive, by the way. So I'm calling my mom, and those who are sitting in there waiting for me to finish, they hear me calling numbers, 300 Rand and 400 there, and they think to themselves, this guy has the money, you know, he's got it all. And drop the phone, and the guy says, you owe me, I think he said 25 Rand. And for the telecom line, it would have taken 5 Rand for me to do what I did, and I had 5 Rand. So he wanted me to leave something to prove that I'll come back. I had to take off my shoes and leave my shoes there. I was wearing jeans like this, and I had to walk barefoot back to go find the 20 Rand and go back and release my shoes. Society has no sense of trust, right? No sense that I could come back. And I vowed that day as I was walking back, tears welling in my eyes, that no child will go through that if I have anything to do with it. And I can tell you now that climbing Kilimanjaro is part of that. I've climbed Kilimanjaro 5 times. I've raised in excess of over 2 million Rand to just provide sanitary pads to girls that they can attend school. Provided school shoes to kids. Provided school shoes to kids so that they can then have their dignity back. At the end of the day, all of us just want one thing, to have our dignity preserved. And if you have to then strip your dignity by just having your shoes removed, it takes shoes, what's next? And if we were to think like that, it means that we won't just be flipping the script for just our lives, but we will flip the script for those who are still to be born, that they find themselves in under different circumstances. So we find ourselves in a difficult moment as nation states, as the continent. It's a historical moment. Just making sense of this moment is a challenge. To move forward with a sense of what actually is happening takes courage. We are meeting at a time where sanctuaries and places of refuge are no longer that. Just your home can be invaded any day. Where conflict is still really ripping our countries apart, sense-making is difficult. But we also have people from the continent who show up daily to try and make the continent and their countries work. As some of us want to leave things moving forward, that things change, It is courage that we need to do some of the things that are required to make our countries work. It will take courageous leadership from you, courageous leadership from below to get going in a meaningful way. At this time, we need courageous leaders. We need leadership. There's a dearth of leaders and the dearth of leadership across the world. And Madiba says about courageous leadership, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. It means that we always have to make sure that we conquer our fears. It doesn't matter what that fear is. Fear of failure, for example, that I might just fail, and if I fail, it means that I lose the scholarship. That fear is something that we have to ensure that we conquer daily. But it also means that we must be consistent in our disciplines. You might know that when Madiba came out of prison, his day one, staying with Archbishop Tutu, he called Trevor Manuel at 4 a.m. and he called Trevor to say, "Where are my weights?" This is a man who just came out of prison, 27 years later. Shouldn't he be sleeping a little bit more? But he had developed some disciplines. And one of those disciplines was to wake up at 4 and use his weights to exercise. So he demanded to get his weights. We must be consistent in our conduct to ensure that we then encourage that kind of life of being courageous leaders. We must also hold our nerve and simply do what needs to be done. And holding your nerve is the most difficult thing. When the world always throws things your way, just holding your nerve is difficult. Particularly if you are a woman in a country that has so many challenges, including a rape culture that's so bad. Holding your nerve is the biggest challenge that you have to then be tested and make sure that you triumph over that. We will falter along the way, for sure. We will make mistakes. You must make mistakes. Because it's only when we make those mistakes that we are able to build the future we want to make. Because future making does not mean that there's perfection along the way. It just means that you tried and kept trying. As you fall, you just kept on rising again and just kept on moving forward. And I want to quote Madiba in this instance when he says, "In real life, we deal not with the gods, but with ordinary humans like ourselves, men and women who are full of contradictions, who are stable and fickle, strong and weak, famous and infamous, people in whose bloodstream the markworm battles daily with potent pesticides." So in us, the contradictions are there, but they shouldn't defeat us and paralyze us from doing what is right and doing what we know will be doing right by others. Your parents gave you all kinds of support. They entrusted whatever they had in you to be able to be sitting in front of me now. And we owe them one thing only, just to reward that kind of thing by just making a success of what Mastercard opportunity gives us. While I was at school, there was a little note at the back. It was a news clip that was cut by a teacher of mine who I still adore up to today. He put it behind us, and it was a headline. It said, "An opportunity like this may never land on your lap again." And I'm here to tell you the same. An opportunity like this may never land on your lap again. Make the best of it. Make sure that you walk out of here. So even if we have to take leaps of imagination and of will, like Madiba and many others, Thomas Sankara and many others did many times, staying the course to build a country of Nelson Mandela's dreams, a continent of Nelson Mandela's dreams, continent free of poverty, inequality, women abuse, children abuse, and many other difficulties that we have will require more courage now than ever before. And I think if we are to think about these things, we have to go back to a child I met about 4 years ago. I went to Eswatini, and we were there to launch a program with a family of Kutlase, whose father was killed brutally in a community. And some criminals broke in and then brutally killed this old man, sweet old man. And we went back. This is the generosity of this family, that despite that happening in that community, they went back to that community to go and again plow back. So one morning, we were staying in a hotel that was on a mountain, pretty cold. It was June when we were there. It was pretty cold. And we're driving out to go to the event. We found along the way a 10-year-old who was walking to school, who should be 14 today. So we took him in the car, drove with him. As we driving along, like I said, remember I said it was cold. He was driving a wired car, you know those wired cars. He's driving this car, and when I offered the lift, he then put this car on the side of the road. So I said to him, no, bring it in. Bring the car in. He said, no, it's okay. He said, no, someone is going to take it. And he said, no, I'll find it here. No one will take it. Society has not yet given him a sense of mistrust. Nothing has been stolen from him. Nothing has been taken from him. The extraction that we see daily has not happened to him. That innocence is lost the moment you see that you cannot trust people. So he gets in the car, leaves this little car on the side of the road. We drive, and we drove for what felt like at least 10 Ks. So I asked him, do you do this daily? We went through a hill, down the valley, crossed the river, up again another hill, down the road, and at some point he then said, my school is on the right. So I dropped this boy and I asked him again, do you do this daily? He says, yeah, I do it daily, uncle. All he has in his hands is a dream. The dream that tomorrow will be better than today, that he won't have to walk that road again. I remember him daily because he's the guy that inspires me to show up. You asked us to show up. He showed up daily. Come rain or shine, he went to school because he has two things that it's a dream and hope. Those two are the things that propelled him to keep going. And if you have a dream, and many have been aborted, many dreams have been aborted because society told you it was impossible. Society told you, you are Hatang's child. Your mother is a drunk. Your mother is an illiterate woman. Who do you think you are? You are never going to make anything of your life. You come from a small township that has nobody who's ever succeeded. You come from a place where no one has ever made anything of there. Who do you think you are? And this young man showed up daily. But I also want to give you the second anecdote. of a security guard. So my wife is a teacher in a school that's in an informal settlement. Like today, Meg Grace will tell you that I arrived here an hour early. The program was supposed to start I thought it was starting at 11. So I got here at 10. And I do so because I want to immerse myself in an environment where I'm going to be speaking. Must be part of what's happening. Observe you arrive late, you'd have no water, stuff like that, right? And you waltz in like you're on time. But that's not my speech. I was just saying in passing. So I arrived again an hour early. The program was starting at 8. I was there at 7 o'clock, and I parked my car on the side, and I observed the kids coming in. At the gate was this security guard who kept on just hugging these kids. In some instances, calling them by name. And these kids, tiny, come in and they hug her. She's tall, and all they reach is just her thighs, and they hold her, they go past. So later on, I asked my wife, so, oh wow, the security guard at the gate, whoa, that's a proper human being. You know, she has soul. And she said, she doesn't get paid. She's a volunteer. What do you mean? I can see your faces. I was just as surprised as the two of you are. So I asked her, what do you mean? She said, no, she's a volunteer. We can't afford to pay for her. So she's been doing that volunteer work for 2 to 3 years, coming in daily. Come rain or shine, she's there. She's again just receiving these kids daily. She did what you were asking of us. She showed up, despite not even getting paid for it. She didn't complain about these kids. If anything, she loved them dearly. Our love is conditional. My love for my work is conditional on me being paid. My love for society is conditional on me being able to have a car that can take me there. It's conditional. May we learn that courageous leadership is unconditional love to those that you have to interact with. You must love the society you live with. You must love your families the way you should. And you must give it your all as you do, because conditional love also gives conditional fruit. The fruit is also conditional. So she showed up. So I want to quote Madiba, who says, if there's one appeal I could make today, it is that young people must take it upon themselves to ensure that they receive the highest education possible, so that they can represent us well in future as future leaders. And that's my message to you today. Meg Grace le Auskhadi. I here just to give you two things. At the soles of their feet, they just have hope, which they deliver your way. So the team that's sitting at the back, the soles of their feet just has hope. And they hope that as they deliver that hope to you, you will then make your dreams possible. So let me conclude by quoting two people that I respect dearly. One is Václav Havel, who says, I'm not an optimist because I'm not sure that everything ends well. Nor am I a pessimist because I'm not sure that everything ends badly. I just carry hope in my heart. Hope is the feeling that life and work have a meaning. You either have it or you don't, regardless of the state of the world that surrounds you. Life without hope is an empty, boring, and useless life. I cannot imagine that I could strive for something if I did not carry hope in me. I'm thankful to God, he says, for this gift. It is as big as life itself. I hope those words carry through. That it's upon you. It doesn't matter the circumstances that around you. But you must carry that hope because there are others who have invested in you to make sure that, with the hope also that you will make their dreams possible. So I want to close off with Madiba, who was writing a letter to his 2 daughters. And and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the letter here in front of me, but I've offered Meg Grace that I would like to host all of you at the Nelson Mandela Foundation. And I'll be able to show you. So I'll be able to show you the letters that the codes where these originate from, the letters that Madiba wrote, show you his Nobel Peace Prize and stuff like that. So show you the office where he worked from. So I'm looking forward to hosting you at the foundation. So in this letter, the letter was written in February 1969. Remember that date. February 1969, the letter was written. And in the letter, he starts off by just checking on their education. How is the situation back at home in terms of their education? Madiba tried to make an abnormal situation as normal as possible. He tried to remain a father, despite being in prison. So this letter is written while he's on Robben Island. And he says halfway through the letter, I understand that you can cook chips, rice, meat, and many other things. I'm looking forward to the day when I'll be able to enjoy all that you cook. I hear that you said that I'm not home and you want to know when I will come back. I do not know, my darlings, when I will return. You'll remember that in a letter I wrote you in 1966, I told you that a white judge had said I should die in prison. I do not believe him. I believe that I'll spend the rest of my living years in happiness with you. Then he says, don't worry about me now. I'm happy. I'm well, full of strength and hope. Remember I said the letter was written in February 1969. Madiba had only served 7 years in prison. He still had 20 more years, almost to the day, to go. Yet he says, I long for nothing but you. And every time I long for you, I look at the photo that I have in front of me. It's a beautiful photo. It has you, and it has a white frame, and for the last 2 years, I've been asking Mommy to send me a new photograph that has all of you. As happy as I'm at the moment, I'd be happier if I received that photo. But I want to go back to the sentence he used when he said, don't worry about me now. I'm happy. I'm well, full of strength and hope. If he carried hope, who are we to lose it? May you try your best to build the continent of your dreams. Madiba's legacy lives through you, and it can only be realized through you. Your parents' dreams can only be realized through you. But the biggest thing is your own dreams can only be realized through you. May you carry hope and deliver it to others, because it's only when you do so that we can build the country of our dreams. Thank you very much.
Wow, what an inspiration. Are you inspired? If Ntate Hatang said, an opportunity like this may never land on your lap again. So take the opportunity that you are given, show up and conquer. Represent as well as future leaders. And what does UP says? Make each day matter. So let's thank Ntate Hatang. We now are going to take questions from the floor. 10 minutes only. Anyone who wants to say something to Ntate Hatang? Please don't be shy. Hello. Why today? okay. I
There's,
mean, there's always
there's a
questions
hand
and
there,
comments.
there's two hands.
Where's the mic? Can you provide it?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sello, for a well-delivered, I don't know, it's in between lecture and, but where it was really inspiring, and there's a lot to take from it. And I think it's particularly interesting to me to find that, you know, there are people that actually had interaction with Nelson Mandela and are able to, you know, keep the fire burning. The question I want to ask you is a little bit, you know, you say you climbed a mountain, Kilimanjaro. I wouldn't know if I get the pronunciation correct. And you used that to raise funds. How did you do it? Like, where did the funding come from? Thank you. So it's more like a question, but overall, very good presentation. Well done.
Thank you. I think I forgot to mention the word that Aus Khadi used, social capital. When you are my friend, you know that you're going to be paying. So my friendship is not cheap. So the biggest donors for the initiative were my friends. So I started with my friends. And if your friends believe in it, it means others will. So each of my friends had to give me anything. You could give me 10 rand, you could give me 100 rand, it didn't matter. That was and then the corporates out there. But you know, with social capital, the biggest social capital is here. That's one of the things that we get wrong as people. I hope that you know the person you're sitting next to, you must have their number. You must have their email address. You must know where their parents are. In other words, it's not just an email address. It's also about actually knowing the routing of the person. If you can, visit their home as well. Because once you've done that, it makes it possible for you to do what birds do. Don't know if you know how birds hover. You can have a 25-kilogram bird hovering without falling. You know, when they just glide. Do you know how they do that? Those who are in the wildlife stuff, you'll see that big birds don't fly when it's cold. They patch themselves on a tree and they wait because they need heat. So the rising heat then helps them to hover. So I always say to my children, to whoever I'm able to speak to say you must be each other's heat. Because when a bird does this, it's using a lot of energy. Flapping your wings always uses a lot of energy. You need someone to help you hover. So you need your own heat. And that heat comes from here in this room. Social capital is important for you to build your career. And if you are to do it right, it starts here. You make relationships that last forever. And if you are to do that, so the Mastercard program should, if there's anything that it should achieve, is that all its students, all its alumni should have each other's contacts for that year. The cohort of 2023 should have each other's whenever you are stuck, it doesn't matter where I am. There's someone who will send me a thing. Because I'll send it on a WhatsApp group where I say, guys, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do, and I need someone who's more brilliant than me to help me with this problem. Or I'm stuck financially. I can't fund my child. I'm stuck. I can't fund a child that I just met. And somebody comes through and they do it. Social capital is important, and that's how part of that funding was achieved. There was a second hand next to you there.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for that. I found it to be very inspirational. The question that I wanted to ask is around how you said that, for instance, some of our parents' dreams, they are going to have to live through us. So how do we navigate that? This may sound controversial, but how do we navigate that without feeling like there's black tax? Thank you.
Yeah, you know, black tax is a reality that we have to pay. And I think it's not just, in other societies, it's not cash. By the way, whenever I hear someone say, I made myself, I laugh. No one ever makes themselves. Somebody believed in you. Meg Grace believes in you. Mama Tabate believes in you. And it's only when they believe in you that you are made by someone else. Your society makes you, your family makes you. And I think the smallest reward you can give is to lift as you rise. And black tax for me is lifting as you rise. Because it can't be that you live in this, what you could call an island of plenty. And then you are surrounded by poverty and you think it's normal. It can't be normal, right? So I think it's that thing of ensuring that we reinvest. And I don't see it as black tax. It's reinvesting in the investment that was made in you. You go back to your community. You give something. You give something to you lifting somebody else, so that they then carry that load for you on your behalf. This, the gentleman next to you also had his hand up, or unless if he's happy now. Okay. Is that it? No more questions. I think I want to end off by saying that I think each one of us should try our best to just make Meg Grace and Mama Tabate and the team at the back there, make them proud, because there would have been more questions had you not given the starter. So the starter, it was like, yo, it has arrived, guys. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to being with you at the foundation and creating more memories to make sure that this continent of ours works.
Yeah, thank you, Ndate Hatang, and thank you so much for being with us here today. And Ndate Hatang, last year we have Ndate Bonang Mohali, and he talked to our scholars about lift as you rise. So the previous cohorts, I'm sure they understand very well what you're talking about. Thank you so much. Ndate Hatang is ready to leave us because he has other engagements following this one. So I'm going to quickly ask Miss Matsidi Sosile to come to the fore to do the vote of thanks. To the new scholars, I think I introduced Matsidiso to Ntate Bonang earlier. Matsidiso is our 2019 cohort. She has done her undergrad with us, her honors. Now she's doing masters in developmental studies. So here you are.
Okay, good afternoon, Ntate Hatang, we apologize for the delay. Sorry, we're really sorry, for not keeping time, right? You mentioned love and hope. They're non-tangible, but they motivate us to be resilient. So thank you for your words of encouragement. I hope that they build up inside us to inspire to be a greater version of ourselves as up-and-coming leaders in our communities. So we really thank you for honoring our invite and joining us today as we celebrate 10 years of the program at the University of Pretoria. Please accept the gift as our token of appreciation.
Okay, I think before Ntate Hatang leaves, can we all, I'm sorry to take you away from your starter. Can we quickly go outside for a picture with Ntate Hatang? Then we will all come back after that. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I hope we've had a good time thus far. I hope it has been inspiring, motivating, filled us with hope. We are going to continue with the second part, I'll call that, of our program. So we have Miss Pauline Gangler, who is joining us virtually. She has taken the time to record something for you all. So just to say, as it is on your program, that she's the head of the Scholars Program. So think about, this is where the big bank is, right? So how you guys all clap for Mr. Lisufi, he's like small bank, but this is like, I think reserve, right? She's Reserve Bank. Okay, so she's in charge of the Eastern and Southern African District and also of the Mastercard Foundation. So if we could turn our attention to the screens at this time, thank you so much. After that, we will move on to the certificates, which is the really fun part, which is showcasing the talent of the scholars who are here. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Pauline Gangler, and I oversee the Scholars Program in Eastern and Southern Africa at the Mastercard Foundation. Dr. Grace Romafi, the Program Manager of the Mastercard Foundation Scholars at the University of Pretoria, the entire program team, Dr. Kadi, the Deputy Director for Academic Development, Selo Hatang, the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, our Mastercard Foundation Scholars, ladies and gentlemen, I'm indeed pleased to join you as we welcome this cohort of scholars at the University of Pretoria. We sincerely thank the University of Pretoria, our long-standing partner, for inviting us to be part of this exciting event. And it's indeed a pleasure to be here alongside Mr. Hatang from the Nelson Mandela Foundation, our key speaker. And for the next few minutes, I want to speak directly to our incoming Mastercard Foundation scholars. First, I'd like to offer you congratulations. You were selected to join the Scholars Program based on the strength of your academic achievement, leadership potential, and the commitment to give back to the community. Most importantly is that you're already living your lives in service of others, whether that's by serving your families or communities or institutions or countries. When we see you, we see leaders that will transform Africa through the different academic programs that you're pursuing and the vocation that you're interested in. We see your values. We see how hard you've worked to get here, and we want you to be part of helping advance your journey and beyond. We are keen to work with you while you're at the University of Pretoria, when you're ready to graduate and when you transition to the world of work. As you know, the Scholars Program is the flagship program of the Foundation. We launched it 10 years ago to transform a network of young people and institutions driving inclusive and equitable socioeconomic change in Africa. It's an education and leadership development program. The core elements of the Scholars Program include leadership development, giving back to the community, entrepreneurship, transition support, psychosocial support, and mentorship. When you join this program, you actually join a community that's certainly very vibrant at the University of Pretoria, a community that extends well beyond the university grounds, a community that spans the African continent and the world. We have scholars in Canada, in the US, the UK, France, Lebanon, and Costa Rica. It's a community of young people that have faced many of the same struggles that you have faced, that's facing the future with focus and optimism, and trying every step of the way to make a difference. It's a community that has over 40,000 young people as current scholars and alumni who have graduated. More than 300 of these young people started exactly where you are at today, as part of the incoming class at the University of Pretoria. Wherever they are, we are knit together in this community, and we are here to support you. So I would certainly encourage you to get involved with the Scholars Program community at the University of Pretoria. Attend and participate in the activities that our program team, led by Dr. Ramafi, have scheduled for you. Get to know other scholars on campus and beyond. Apply for funding from the Social Entrepreneurship Fund as part of this program to start and run a successful enterprise that will enable you to create work opportunities for yourself and others. When you interact with the other scholars who have been part of the program for some time, ask them about the enterprises that they started and see what you can learn from them. I would also like to encourage you to connect with our broader community through what we call the Baobab platform. This platform is an online space that allows you to connect with other scholars and alumni around the world to access professional development courses, internship opportunities, networking opportunities, and growing together as a community. Finally, I want you to know that all of us here are rooting for you. Your program team at the University of Pretoria and my team at the foundation are at hand to provide you support, counsel, or a listening ear. We want your experience over the next few years on the program to be positive and uplifting. At the same time, your experience as a Mastercard Foundation scholar will be what you will make it. So be proactive, be bold, take up opportunities available to you, ask questions, seek help, study hard, and together we can make this journey everything you hope it will be. We wish you all the best as you embark on this journey. Welcome to the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program. Thank you.
Okay, so I think the message is being echoed time and time again throughout our event, and that's taking part, so your agency, right? Finding spaces where you can fit, finding a voice within the scholarship, finding your feet, making friends, making those social connections, right? So the line that we all know is, be the change that you want to see. We want to see that here, and it really does start with every single one of you in this room. So that takes us to the next part of the program, which is the awards. And so how we would like to do it is we're going to call a cohort. You know how in high school, I think, you would clap at the end of the cohort, right? So just for order, and also so that no one feels like their achievement is smaller than the other. So we are going to ask you to clap at the end, and we're going to call out each name. So as you come, we'll have Dr. Grace and Dr. Khadi, who will shake everyone's hands, and you can take a photo on the end. Where would you like that? Over here, okay. So please come up once we have called you.
We'll start off with the undergraduate and honors distinctions. Mosebetsi Kobotlo, Keketso Mabalega, Peace Azea, Sarah Kendall, Grace Andesha, Abigail Mberi, Robert Gumba, Katempi Elosi, Arthur Antonio, Simisi Dlamini, Mamakete, and Vanessa Makongela. Please do come forward. Wonderful. Please do give him a big round of applause. As you know, that majority of our cohorts are postgraduates, so there are also postgraduates we would like to recognize today who have done exceptionally well over the past year. And obviously, we're celebrating 10 years, so over the past 10 years, we've had significant achievements. But in particular today, it's Koketso Mbewe, who passed a Master's in Industrial Engineering with distinction. Yeah, you may clap. She was also admitted to the IE Business School, one of the top 10 business schools in Europe. And the program is a one-year Master's in Management. She was also awarded the Christophus Young Talented Leaders Scholarship, which is an all-inclusive scholarship which is funded by the IE Foundation. So really an incredible achievement by Koketso Mbewe. Please do give a round of applause. She is obviously absent today because she's not around. The next person is Michael George, who passed Masters in Economics with distinction. I'm told he's back in Tanzania. Justice Ngunjiri, who passed a Masters in Industrial Engineering with distinction as well, is back in Kenya presently. We also have Daniel Otuoku. He also got a IEOM Society International certification, also got a certificate of presentation, and at the 3rd African International Conference on Industrial Engineering and Operations Management, he completed his master's as well in engineering in tech and innovation management, and he's here today, so he can come forward. Found a certificate, not found wanting. The next recipient is Chioma Maechi from Nigeria, who participated in a debate in 2021 on the need for grant policies for vulnerable groups at the Government Technical Advisory Center of the National Treasury in South Africa, and emerged as the winner at that event. So incredible achievement. She's obviously in Nigeria, she's not around. And Monica Marika, who is busy with her MS in Food Science. She's a Kenya ambassador of Food Africa, a visiting researcher at Michigan State University, which is out in the United States, and a poster evaluator for the 12th annual Mid-Michigan Symposium for undergraduates. And research experiences very place where she's got a lot of exposure in right now. She's been sharpening that out in the US presently. She's also the Harvard Africa Business Conference attendee at the Harvard Business School, which is out in Boston, which is an incredible achievement, and also got an abstract submission and acceptance for the South Africa Association for Food Sciences and Technology at the 25th Biennial Congress. I was also admitted for a Master's in Public Health Nutrition degree at Harvard. So she is all about Harvard right now. She is not here, I'm told. She's obviously in the US. Let's give her a big round of applause. The next recipient is Victor Ngungu. He is from Kenya, completed his Master's in Engineering, Electrical Engineering. He has awarded an exchange program sponsorship within the framework of the Erasmus KA 107 to undertake a Master in Mobility program at the University in Valladolid in Spain. So he does like football, so he'll probably be watching a lot of football there. He's not here today, but please give him a round of applause. The next recipient is Justine Nanfuka. Masters in Engineering Management, to be specific, awarded an exchange program sponsorship within the framework of the Erasmus KA 107 to undertake a master mobility program at the university out in Valladolid in Spain. Presented 2 papers at the ASEM, that's the Association of Engineering Management in Tampa, Florida, and at a CSIR, that's for an annual conference on systems engineering. She's also participated in the Greatest Young Systems Engineers of the Year, winning the Team Award, awarded an individual Sharpest Young Systems Engineer of the Year award for the challenge of organized here in South Africa. So she has done extremely well, and I believe she's here today. So please do give her a round of applause. Justine. No, I guess she's not here today. The next recipient is Luto Dube. No, also, Luto, she's not present today. The next recipient, who I've seen today, that I can confirm, is Joe Leonard from Nigeria. He was elected as the Professional Development Director and Golden Key at UP for the 2nd chapter, and also elected as the Master Leader of the 2023 program here at UP. The next recipient is Patrick Ben, who is famous for his hairstyle. I don't know if he's here today. He is a speaker for the TEDx University of Pretoria in 2022, elected postgraduate students representative by the Department of Philosophy at the University of Pretoria this year, and presented a paper at Boston University Conference at Boston University, that's in the USA, and the PSSA Conference at the University of Joburg in South Africa, and also published 2 academic papers that are in the peer-reviewed journals presently. So give it up for Patrick Ben. Fiston Masichwe, he is from Tanzania, currently completing his Master's in Public Management. He's a recipient of the Erasmus Mobility Scholarship to undertake an exchange program at the University of Minho in Portugal. He is the winner of the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Entrepreneurship Program last year, awarded an internship placement last year at a company in Pretoria, and also the winner of the Emerging Leaders Africa-Australia Diplomacy at the Curtin University. Give it up for Fiston, who's not here today. Afiz Oduola, he's a Master's in Food Science. He won 1st prize at the University of Pretoria's Social Responsibility Photo Competition. He was a scholar rep, and was part of his portfolio was community engagement, and that was spearheaded by Afiz. So give it up for Afiz. And last but certainly not least is Tapelo Sindane, who is completing his Master's in Computer Science. He managed to get a journal pre-printed, submitted to the in Rwanda for a conference that was actually accepted. His write-up was accepted. So, and he also went to Tunisia last year as well to be participating in a conference in this particular field. And give it up for him as he's in the front. We have several achievements for people who did exceptionally well in the honors program. Vanessa Makongela, Keketso Mbewe, Robert Gumba, Keketso Mabalega, and Peace Azea. I think one of the most exciting parts about the Scholars Program is that it's also a self-led initiative to a great degree, in that we allow you the freedom and the flexibility to express yourselves in whatever way you wish. And spearheading this are the scholar representatives who you elect yourselves through the selection process or the electoral process that you do every year. And we've had each year stronger leaders year by year. We're going from strength to strength. And last year we had the reps who did an incredible job, and we think that it's fitting for us to recognize them today on this particular occasion in front of all of you who they have worked closely with for the last year, and I'm sure that their impact will echo into the years to come. First up is Mami Bizimana. Tashmika Mohan. Jennifer Selassie King. Afiz Oduola. Tony Oche. Victor Ngugu. Wish Mundondo. And of course, we still have the reps who were elected last year who are transitioning as the new reps for 2023. I must say it is a bit of a difficult job because they are navigating communication between management, what we expect, and also navigating your requirements, your needs, which I hear are very, very highly up there. So please give it up for the new reps for 2023. In no particular order, we'll call upon Peace Azea to come forward. She will be responsible for events on the program. And all the wonderful pictures you see on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the scholars pages, that's Elsie Katambi, who is responsible for the media section for 2023. Housing and Finance, which is a crucial part of the program, it's Ruth Kasavo. And obviously, community engagement, giving back, key part of the Scholars Program, that will be spearheaded by Abigail Chemutai. And academic excellence is all about this, is what we're all about on the Scholars Program. As you've seen people coming up here for their distinctions, that's going to be spearheaded by Gwa Madwate. Some people call this role as the SG or the Secretary General. That's Sarah Kendall. And to keep this team working together collectively, we have the chairperson who will be responsible to ensure that they function at the best of their ability, but will have that precious responsibility to spearhead or to ensure that all the activities that they plan for the year will be executed. It's none other than Opoyemi Fajira, who looks nice in his blue today. Awesome, they can take a group photo with
Thank you all so much. I think we can give them another round of applause. Okay, and then we know that we have future achievers in this room. We know that you too will excel in your respective fields. So in anticipation of that, give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, so it's almost lunchtime, so I know we're hungry, we're almost there, but we need to toast to the past 10 years and to the next 10 years. So we will be led by Dr. Grace to do the toast. Okay, so there's gonna be a lot of popping, watch your eyes, okay? Everything is on your table, so each table has a bottle. Is there someone responsible and capable on the table to open each bottle? Yes. If you are uncertain, please ask. Ask questions. You need help? I'll help you. Okay. Anyone else who needs assistance? Okay. Okay, so at this time, I would like to call our program manager to the floor. Premature popping, premature popping. So excited. I do love the enthusiasm. Let's wait for the toast. Oh my. Okay, so we have a team here, a whole group of people who are ahead, far ahead in the future. Thank you. Yes. I'm going to do this.
Okay, let me see. Okay. All right, the most exciting part of the program, ne? Well, we have, as I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this early in the program, this is our 10th year. In the 10 years, we've had 460 scholars. Out of the 460, we've had 175 scholars pass, finish with a degree, 1 degree. 64 scholars with 2 degrees. 4 scholars with 3 degrees. And this number will increase after the, is it April? April and September graduations. Are your glasses, have you done the glasses? Hey. Are you ready? I am ready. Okay. Do the woo! Hey! Okay, so I have to help you. And then let me help you. Okay, then let's, all your glasses filled up? I'm going to wait a little pop. When you are ready, I'm going to give you like 2 minutes. Fill up the glasses. Or what do we say? It's not a beer, ne? We don't fill the glasses with the toast. Yeah? Yeah, there's a knife. I will do the toast first, and then when you finish, then I'll... Are we ready to toast? Hello, are we ready to toast? Okay then, let's toast to the 10 years of the Scholars Program at the university. I don't have it. And then to the many successes that we have achieved. Okay, to more anniversaries to come. Thank you for the love. And to many more anniversaries, as I said, and to all Eloise, do we do the cake now?
Okay. Do you want to come forward? So us more than us. So I'm gonna call them up.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, everyone's still toasting. Could I please have the Mastercard staff in the front, please? We're gonna cut the cake. Please come forward. Yes. There we go, Jennifer. Where's she? There she is. Are you gonna hold your glass? Or are you gonna put it here? Just behind. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to proceed to every celebration has a cake. I hope you have appreciated the diversity of our cake, how we're trying to represent Africa, all of you who are in this room. So as we cut this cake, we are going to have a beautiful rendition by Jennifer King, and she will be singing for us. So I think she does a good job. If there are any sing-alongs, it's because she's hyping everyone to do so. Okay, thank you. Take us away.
Come on, put your hands together. Yay! We all know this song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, MC. Happy birthday to you. So it's 10 years ago, the Mastercard Foundation collaborated with UP, and we are all a part of this union. They collaborated with UP, and we are all a part of this union. Be ready to sing happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. Birthday. Oh, come on, say happy birthday to you. Say happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Sing happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Okay. Can we clap for ourselves one more time? And we're looking forward to the next 10 years, right? Woo! Okay. I think we have now come to the end of our program, right? I'm inviting all of you to sit and enjoy the lunch that has been prepared for us. And where's Matsidiso? Matsidiso can come back again and close this event. Where's Matsidiso? And before I forget, As part of this 10-year celebration, the Vice Chancellor has given the new cohorts T-shirts. So as of next week, you can come through to the office to Mr. Sifiso and get your T-shirt. There's 65 scholars who are the 2023 cohort. All of them, I think. All of them, yeah. Okay, Matsiriso. Okay. Okay. Okay, yes. Hi guys.
Okay, we are at the end of the event. I would like to, on behalf of our scholars, my colleagues, I would like to thank Dr. Khadi Matabate for the warm welcome. And I would like to thank Ms. Pauline Gangla, even in her presence, in her absence, she made sure that her words of inspiration reaches us. Not forgetting our management personnel, Dr. Grace, Dr. Efe, Mr. Elisufi, Ms. Bonolo, Lennox, sorry, Mr. Kuboni, and Louise. Thank you guys for being our pillar of strength. You are actually grounding us. Yeah, our thank is not, won't be enough. So we appreciate you and we appreciate everything you guys do for us. And to my colleagues, you guys are pressure cookers. Yo. But congratulations. Your achievements are inspiring. Okay. Oh my God, I'm panicking. Anyway, to the Escape team, thank you for capturing our memories as we are making history. And thank you to the audio crew and our catering team. Thank you for the refreshments. We have reached the end of our event. Let's give a round of applause to our superstar, Jennifer.
She can sing. I think you can continue singing.
No, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. When you cry, be sure to dry your eyes, 'cause better days are sure to come. When you smile, be sure to smile wide, and don't let them know they have won. And when you walk with pride, don't show the hurt inside, because the pain will soon be gone. And when you dream big, as big as the ocean blue. 'Cause when you dream, it might come true. When you dream big. And when you laugh, be sure to laugh out loud, 'cause it will carry all your cares away. And when you see the beauty all around and in yourself, it will will help you feel okay. And when you pray for strength to help you carry on when the troubles come your way. And when you dream big, as big as the ocean blue. 'Cause when you dream, it might come true. When you dream big. Oh, you gotta dream big. You gotta dream big. Oh, dream big. Oh, dream big. Oh, and when you laugh, be sure to laugh out loud, 'cause it will carry all your cares away. And when you see the beauty all around and in yourself, it will help you feel okay. And when you pray for strength to help you carry on when the troubles come your way. When you dream big, as big as the ocean blue. 'Cause when you dream, it might come true. When you dream big. Oh, dream big, dream big, dream. Oh, you gotta dream big.
The program is over.